Hello, everyone. Oh, hang on. Lads and ladies, welcome back. My name is Jack Must Die, and I have some news. Well, I don't, but I'm going to share it anyway. Real quick, I guess, excuses. I've been away for a while. Again, one is because I forgot. Sorry. I discovered modded Minecraft, and the rest is history. I got so caught up in it. And then, by the time I finally pulled myself up by my pants, is that how the saying goes? And I, finally edited a video that I actually recorded a while ago, put it up there. I did that because I was sick, and I had to stay home from work. I was like, might as well do this while I've got the time. And then I was still sick, and it got worse. And I couldn't talk for a while. I'm pretty sure it was just a cold, but it was a nasty one. My voice, I sounded like this a lot for a long time. But I'm better now. I can talk full voice. I'm really glad that wasn't permanent because I was scared it would be. Anyway, excuse for this. You don't need one. On to the exciting news. So, I mentioned this, I think, in the very first video I ever made. And I don't know if I've mentioned it since, maybe. But my favorite game in the entire world is Five Nights at Freddy's. Which I realize isn't just one game. I think, in my personal opinion, the first game was the scariest one, and therefore the best. Maybe not necessarily the best, but it really got me. And it's so special to me because it's what really got me into gaming and into this whole community in the first place. So I've met some really cool people because of it. And so, imagine how happy I was when I found out that they were not only talking about filming a movie, which I realize they've been doing since like the third one came out in like 2015. But when Cawthon himself on Reddit, let's see if I can find that post. Right. So here it is. I saw this post ages ago. 2 years ago, I would say, approximately, seeing as that is when it says it was posted. Heart broke, bad news. But then he talked about all of this and all of that and said eventually they were going to the movie was definitely going to be a thing, and they had an idea for the script and everything. So I was like, yes, a movie based off of my favorite game franchise. I could not ask for more. A couple years went by, I heard nothing. I was starting to think maybe it's not actually going to happen. And then we started seeing stuff on Twitter about who was going to direct and where it was going to be produced. Eventually, I think they settled on Blumhouse. That was kind of up in the air for a while. I don't know if this is what you'd call production hell, but it kind of seems like it might be. So let's hope it doesn't turn out like other movies that have been through that turn out. Anyway, they announced they were filming in February of this year. And I was like, and I was really sad I didn't live in, Louisiana? Because I wanted to be cast as an extra so bad. But I don't live in Louisiana. Never mind. Whatever. I'll still enjoy the movie. And then it was it yesterday? It was. Yesterday, we received some excellent news. So I was imagining, personally, that this movie was going to come out next year at least. I don't know how long the average movie takes to come out. I've never looked into that before. Give me a second. So yeah, according to Music Gateway, it takes a while. Almost a year after shooting. 309 days. So imagine my absolute shock when I see this. Universal Pictures will release Blumhouse's Five Nights at Freddy's on Friday, October 27th, 2003! That's this year, baby! Whoa! My throat's not... My voice is not all the way back. Can't hit those high notes yet. What does wide mean? On Friday... I didn't catch that last time. On Friday, October 27th, 2003 wide. What does that mean? Worldwide, maybe? The film will also premiere day and date with theatrical on Peacock. Oh, interesting. And then it gives like a synopsis of the movie. I'll go over that in a second. Anyway, I'm so excited about this. I just wanted to come in here real quick and rant about, not rant, rave would be a more positive word. I am a little nervous, I will say, because first of all, video game adaptations to movies tend to not go well. There's been a couple of pretty good ones in the past couple of years. I haven't seen the Mario movie yet, but I've heard raving reviews. I liked the Sonic movies, the second one better than the first one. But most of the time, they just don't translate well to screen. So I'm nervous about that. I'm also nervous because, as we just saw, it usually takes longer after filming for a movie to come out. What I'm really hoping is that this is low budget and not low quality. However, I've already decided that I'm going to love this movie to death even if it's awful. I may walk out of that theater. I am going the day it releases. Hopefully there will be a midnight premiere. I would like that. I'm going to walk out of that theater and I might go, wow, that was awful. And it will still be, maybe not my favorite movie, but I'm going to love it anyway. I've decided that. It's in my heart. I can't believe this is a reality, guys. I'm so excited. Anyway, in the Reddit post that I showed previously that maybe I'll put back on screen in post, no pun intended, except kinda, Scott Cawthon talks about one of the ideas for the scripts that he was brewing with, that he was trying to, make work, was a Mike Schmidt one. It was Mike Schmidt, right? There's been a couple of Mikes. And he said that that's the one that they'd settled on, that's the one they were going with. And this one appears to be about that, so let's read this. Can you survive 5 nights? The terrifying horror game phenomenon becomes a blood-chilling cinematic event as Blumhouse, the producer of Megan, The Black Phone, and The Invisible Man, brings Five Nights at Freddy's to the big screen. Let's pause right there. I don't watch horror movies very much. I find them very cheesy. I probably have not... I know there's probably some good ones out there that I just haven't seen. But for me, the magic is kind of ruined when you find out, fear comes a lot from the unknown. But when you find out what's happening and you start to learn more about it, and I don't know. Horror movies and I just don't click, I guess, would be a good explanation. Because I could say the same things that I was going to critique the movies about with the games and horror games. I love horror games. I think games especially are more immersive, and that's why I like them so much. Which I didn't really care for those until FNAF either, so there you go. So I don't know, all the credits of Blumhouse. So I can't say whether or not they're any good. I don't know. I don't think I've really seen anything from Blumhouse. I heard Megan was pretty alright. I've also heard people who say they didn't like it. You'll get that with anything, though. Anyway, they seem to be well-versed in horror stuff, so I'm excited about that. And I've lingered on this paragraph too long, so we're moving on. The film follows a troubled security guard as he begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. While spending his first night on the job, he realizes the night shift at Freddy's won't be so easy to make it through. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. And a little bit of speculation, because that sounds sounds kind of like how it is in the first game. But the unique thing about FNAF specifically, and what it kind of started this whole genre all by itself, was that you couldn't move. You were stuck in one spot. You could turn to this side, you could turn to that side, and you could look at your cameras, and that's about it. Other than that, you were helpless. So, I'm interested to see how they handle that. I'm going to say obviously, I'm also going to say I really hope not, that they won't stick us in the office the entire time, because that would make for a terrible movie. I'd love it anyway, but it would. And it would be so boring. It's different when you're the one stuck in the office, because like I said, more immersive. You're the one fighting off the animatronics and all that. But watching someone else do it, that would be so boring. So I'm intrigued to see what they do there. Alright. Starring Josh Hutcherson. I recognize that name, but I don't remember what from. Oh, that's right. He was in Hunger Games. Right, okay. Josh Hutcherson, older man, the Hunger... I could have just read further. Anyway, Matthew Lillard, Good Girls, Scream, and Scooby-Doo. Elizabeth Lail, that's a new one. You, Mac, and Rita, I'm not familiar with her name. Kat Connor Sterling, Piper Rubio, and Mary Stuart Masterson. I don't recognize any of those. I'm sure they'll be great. That sounded so sarcastic. It's not meant to be. I'm sure they will be great. Five Nights at Freddy's is written by Emma Tammy and is written by Scott Cawthon. Is directed by Emma Tammy, and is written by Scott Cawthon, Emma Tammy, and Seth Kudabak. Now that's one thing I'm so excited about, is that Scott himself is involved in this, which first of all means it should stay pretty true to what we already have established. Well, we'll see. But second of all, there's going to be a lot of lore, and that's one of the things that drew me into FNAF in the first place, was the chunks of, just the huge volume of lore that was in there. Y'all. The film's iconic animatronic characters will be created by Jim Henson's Creature Shop. I'm excited about that. Five Nights at Freddy's is produced by Jason Blum and Scott Cawthon. The film's I really hope that one of the credits, in the beginning of a movie, it'll be produced by, or maybe not even the beginning, it's in the credits. Really hoping they have Fazbear Entertainment in there somewhere. I would love that. The film's executive producers are B. Sakura, Russell Binder, and Christopher H. Warner. Universal Pictures presents a Blumhouse production in association with Stryker Entertainment. So, this is fantastic. There's really no conclusion to this other than the fact that I am so stoked for this. And I don't normally do movie reviews, but I might do them for FNAF. Who knows? It's my favorite game ever. And it's got such a dear place in my heart. We'll see. We'll see. Bah! Cheap jump scare!